There's a fair bit of information to distribute tonight, so I'm going to take a couple of shortcuts. The Sub-District Cricket Association has a rules committee, which I'm fortunate enough to sit on as well. And some of those changes have been reflected in the handbook. So what I intend to do to make things easier for you, so you know exactly what they are. Our fantastic secretary doesn't know it yet, because I just made the decision. I'll be sending this to Michael Moss, and I'll be talking about what page it is, the number it is, and everything, and send it out to you so you've got that information as well. Okay? So rather than go through it tonight, I'll do that. Thank you. Just ask a quick question. How many of you here have not brought a pen, notebook, something to write in? Can I be honest? If you haven't. Can I encourage you to do so? Even if you only take away and write down one thing to learn, it's going to benefit you. You could have learned something from John just then. You know? One of the great things about our game is understanding the rules and the knowledge and everything that we've got. So I've got a handout that I'll give you, which is reflected in this PowerPoint. And I hope I get it right. It's called the Blueprint for the Season. Everything that's on here, we should be doing most of it, if not all of it, every single match. And it's not a lot of science that's gone into it, so it won't confuse anybody. Okay, our decision-making process to be as objectively as possible. That means we've got to be prepared. How do you get prepared? You study the rules, you develop your knowledge, you network, you talk to people. When you come to these sort of meetings, you network with each other and talk about it. You can learn so much from each other. But it's really important that you make sure you come to these meetings. If we only get 20 or 25, I worry about the 50 that's not here. How do we get that message across to you? It's really important. So this season, these key areas are important as we prepare for what lies ahead. Our season ahead. Our knowledge of the laws. We should all study the laws and the bylaws so that we are able to officiate to the best of our ability. You can't give your best if you're not armed with all the tools. Study the rules, study the laws. You're not clear on something, send me an email. I would prefer to do it in writing rather than you ring me. If you want to ring me, that's fine. But if I explain something to you on the phone, I'm not too sure you're going to retain that information. So it's far better if you write it down, I'll flick you back an email, and we can work together to help you gain that knowledge. Positioning. Knowledge of the best position to take up for us to view what is happening is vital. Not just at the bowler's end, but at square leg as well. Some of us, I've noticed over the last year or so, we get way too back. You're nearly on the boundary line. Maybe you're cutting off a 4, I'm not sure. But the reality is you've got to be, the rule of thumb is about the length of a pitch, is about the distance you should be at square leg. Now some of you will straddle the line. Some of you might have your right foot on the line. I was taught by a very good senior premier umpire about the stumps of that side of me. My left foot was on the line, in line with the crease. Just gives you that little bit extra for stumpings and run-outs. It makes a huge amount of difference. Little technique things that we can all improve on. Really help. Help me, I'm sure it'll help you. So if you know the best position, consistently take up that position, it'll help you to be more confident in your judgment. And that's what we do, we make judgments. We make calls based on the evidence. Fitness. If you're sitting there and think you can go from one Saturday to the following Saturday without walking, bike riding, doing something, swimming, as we're all getting older, you haven't got a reasonable level of fitness, I say this to you, you are kidding yourself. If you're serious about umpiring to the best of your ability, gain some aspect of what fitness is all about. Doesn't mean you have to go and take out a gym membership, but just do something. Some swimming for aerobic, bike riding, or an exercise bike, walking. Get a couple of together, go around the block a few times. Really important. Take the dog for a walk. Do those sort of things, it'll help you. You can borrow mine, Nossie. Relaxation. When an umpire is relaxed but alert, they are better prepared to cope with making decisions. Try to relax when you can, but switch back on when you're required to do so. And it'll come with experience and knowledge. When you're walking to square leg, and I'll talk a bit more about that, what I've really learnt myself also is what a lot of us do. If we've got the pitch over there, here I am at the stumps, I've called over, head goes down, I walk in a square leg, they're doing whatever they're doing, and I miss it all. We'll talk a bit more about that later. Focus. If you're not focused, your concentration will lapse. Focus and concentration go hand in hand. Focus on what's happening now. Not what happened last week. Gee, it was a great movie. Yesterday, last over or last ball. You can't change it. What's past is past. What's done is done. Cannot change it. Thinking about what lies ahead does not help. This guy's coming in, he's bowling real quick, real quick. So I'm ready for this real quick, and all of a sudden he puts in a slower ball. Can catch you out. Being prepared, understanding, watching, soaking up what's happening in a game. Focus on what's happening now. Now, in that moment. Nothing else matters. Now, there's not one single person here that doesn't have life little issues, whether it be your health, whether it be your family, whether it be someone sick, a relation, whatever. It impacts on all of us at some stage. When you cross that white line, can you do anything about those things? Because you can't. It's probably a good time for you to help reflect what's going on in your life. Cricket is a good soul searcher. It helps you. It takes away some of that pain because you can get involved in a sport that you like and enjoy, and you can go and have a good day. Worry about what you can control at that point in time. Concentration goes hand in hand with what I said before about focus. If you're going to make a decision, it's really important to go on the evidence. What you see and what you hear. If you've heard a noise and the ball's past the batsman, but you can see a gap between bat and ball, you wonder, maybe the bat hit the wicket or hit the pad, but you can see. So if you're following, watching the ball, listening to what's going on, I'll back you in 99% of the time to make the right decision. As humans, we're going to make some errors from time to time. We learn from those. So don't complicate the issue by concerning yourself with who's not batting or bowling, which teams are playing, what's the state of the match, what's the score the batsman's on, he's on 98. Who cares? That's their worry, not ours. Eliminate distractions. Eliminate all possible influence by ignoring spectators' comments. There's bound to be someone that knows it better than you, they think. Ignore players' body language or facial expression. Forceful appeals. How many go through a forceful appeal? Maybe they've orchestrated it. Really important that you understand that's going to happen with some teams. So if you're prepared mentally, you know what's about to come, you can plan for it. Whoops, one too many. Communication. Now this is really big for us. Really big. Our communication is paramount in every match we umpire. Bar none. If you're running late for any reason, call your partner or the venue to let them know. Don't just think, oh, I'll get there 20 minutes late, she'll be right, I'll get there. Because your partner's not knowing, is he coming, is she coming, what's happening, we don't know. So if you know you're going to be late, make a phone call. Make sure your hand's free, please. So communication at the start of our game, we should discuss, with our colleague, what's our game plan for today? And as you go through each week, let's concentrate. Let's make sure we work as a team. To signal. There's a whole range of things that you should be able to take on board just by having a quick chat. What's the current weather conditions? What end will we take up? I remember going out last season, umpire with a guy for the first time, and as we walked out, I was on his right eye. He said, Benny, yes mate. He said, do you mind getting on the other side? I said, sure, why is that? I prefer it that way. Fine. Fine. He's got his little idiosyncrasy, that's fine. No issue at all. Might have been it if I wanted to stay on that side, but that was bad. Confirm what time we take drinks. Just remind. Captains will ask you, I've seen captains that have been captaining for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and how many times do they ask you in a 2-day game, the traditional, what time's tea? Colin, what time's tea? It's the same as it was last match. Same it'll be next match. How many overs are to be bowled? Really important. So the captain might come up and ask you, how many overs have been bowled? Counter. And one of the pet hates that every player that's ever played the game hates is when there's an appeal and the hit goes down and up comes the hand with the counter. Everyone gets excited. All of a sudden it's not out. Technique. Concentrate. Help one another. You can learn off one another. You go to drinks, you might say, how am I going today? How's things? Are we working well together? Just a couple of little things. Boost each other's confidence. That's what it's all about. Good communication, be confident, good relations with others. There's nothing better than everybody knows that you are a friendly umpire. Not too friendly where you're talking at square leg having a chat. Oh, I missed that one. Focus and concentration. Alright? I think you get to round 3, round 4, guy's feeling right near square leg, and he says to you, oh, who'd you have last match? Oh, okay. Oh, sure. What was that? Easily get distracted. I said it before. Don't let, you might say, listen mate, I'll talk to you a bit later. How many of it, I want to see, who's honest here? How many of you umpire been standing square initiated a conversation with a player? Come on, who's done it? Most of us would have done it at some stage. Even if it's just saying g'day, we've started it. So be careful. Make sure concentration, focus, really important. The ability to handle conflict. Now the word conflict can upset some people. Oh, conflict, I don't like conflict. I'm a nice guy, I'm a quiet guy, I'm a quiet girl, I don't like to handle conflict. Conflict is really someone disappointed in a decision, more times than not. So they want to ask you about it. Why wasn't that out? I've had some up say, because I said so. That'll get you a lot of kudos. You might want to go in and ask for a cold beer, you might not get a glass of milk, you know. Benny, that was going to hit the stumps. Yeah, probably was. Why isn't it out?
Probably not good enough.
How you answer that, and I've tried to educate so many umpires about, especially in cricket, and I'll come to it, and I'll skip this one right to the bottom. Remember at all times, when in doubt, not out. You say to them, I'm not sure, benefit of the doubt. Not that's going down leg, not that's too high. We don't have the DRS system that Tim Payne couldn't get right. Poor bugger. Decision making. Go through, keep your head still, use your eyes at the bowler's end. We've got a lot of umpires that do this. Gee, I get a sore neck by the time I get home. Just use your eyes. If you're not using your eyes, you're either probably too close. Use your eyes. So you're trying to find the ball as it leaves the hand. Focus on it. Still trying to get Patrick Matthews to do it. If you have knowledge of the laws and bowlers, you can give your decision with 100% confidence. Ignore distractions. Base your decision again on what you see and what you hear. Now, giving your decision in a timely fashion, you might not think is important, but it's important for the players. If you're standing there thinking about it, and all of a sudden you say not out or out, whatever it is, they go, crikey, it took an eternity. They're not sure what you're doing because they're already in their mind think you're not sure what you're doing. So you clear in your mind, 1, 2, out, or 1, 2, not out. Please don't do this. Not out. We go for one and we're shaking our head. There's no need for that. Just be calm. Just look straight down the wicket and say, not out. Really helps. Makes a difference. Help each other. If an umpire has to make a decision on something, let your partner know if there's somebody saying something. You get together. Even when you give the two, you might go, want to have a chat. And at the end of the over, go and have a chat. Really important. Watch players going off and players coming on the field. If somebody leaves the field without letting one of the umpires know, Is that against the rules? It is. So make sure that, you know, if you see someone going off, make sure you go and talk to your mate. Did he speak to you? Yes, he did. Fine. Keep an eye out for when he comes back. Might be a bowler. The umpire at square leg should assist their partner with above the shoulder delivery by showing with your hand that it was above or below. You can do it easy. Whatever signals you right. Support each other all times and remember to enjoy your game. From time to time, check the ball. Have a great season of umpiring and I wish you all the best. Now, just before I go much further.
Next one.
Yes, please. What I've just showed you, I don't expect you to remember. So I've printed them all out for you. So I'll pass these around. Please take one. It's exactly as it is on the PowerPoint. Okay? So if you can start here. Now I printed off 90 of them, so there should be enough to go around. Start over.
There's one left over, Benny.
There might be. There might be. Okay. Every new umpire that's here tonight, if you can spare 5 minutes, I'd like you to meet with me. We'll go outside, hopefully down that end. That room was vacant before. I just want to go through. For the last couple of years, I kept thinking that when we get new umpires, we invite them to a meeting, we talk a bit, but we don't give them anything tangible to walk away. So I thought about introducing a welcome booklet. So I drafted something up. I then spoke to Doigie, I spoke to Neil Murray, I said, look, I'd like your input in this, and so it'll be ours. So the idea is, this booklet, which I'm really proud of the way it's come out, and thank you to the VSDCA who paid for the printing. I don't think that the executive know about it yet, but Jeff will tell them now that Ken Hilton approved it. But it's a booklet just to go through for new umpires to the VSDCA, and it welcomes you. And it'll be a fluid document so that everyone in the room can have one. There's enough there for everyone to have one. But next year, it'll just be new umpires that will get it. So it'll be something that will update and improve. So when you do get the book, you have a read of it, if you think there's something we've left out or something we can add into it, please let me know and we'll do it. So if all the new umpires can stay back tonight, you'll get one of these. We'll just quickly go through it, answer any questions so that you're confident and understand what it's all about. And I'm really rapt that John Doig and Neil Murray contributed to this because we also work as a team. So it's fantastic for what I think the direction we're heading and more professionalism within our competition. Yes, that's the one, thank you. See what I mean about teamwork? It's fantastic. Some of the laws have changed. Now, when I first made the PowerPoint, I said to Dougie, I said, my God, there's a lot of information. They go slide after slide after slide, and a lot of the laws are just might be a word changed here or there or whatever. So this is really a summary of what we need to be worried about or concern ourselves with. So we've basically adopted this new law of 41.7 as it's been rewritten. So a waist high full toss is an unfair delivery. That's what it means. Now, I'll move straight to the bottom one. The top of the trousers, where it's conventionally worn, is now deemed by the MCC deemed to be above the waist, their belt. But not someone who wears their pants half off in the conventional style around the waist. Okay, so that's where, you know, you've heard over the years it's the bottom rib and all sorts of things. Oh, it's the belly button line, it's the belt line. That's really what it means. So, only dangerous if considered by the bowling end umpire. Really what it means if a ball is bowled above the waist, and obviously he'll call it a no ball, and you don't believe it's dangerous, you do not have to give them a warning under the new law. The only time they give them warnings are for dangerous balls. So if it's a bean ball and the bloke's had to get out of the way, it would have hit it, that's dangerous. So then that player, no ball and a warning. Now in under the law it says now, for a dangerous ball, it's trying to get a bit tough, where it's first and final warning. The problem is the laws have been written for international first-class cricket. They're not written for community cricket. So I want a bit of common sense used in this. If a guy bowls a boom, oh, I'm sorry, it slipped away, give him the benefit of the doubt. That's not first and final warning. But if he does it a second time, that's a second and final warning. Does it again, okay? So let's be smart about it. Really important.
Kenny, that's slow or fast bowler?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And I'll talk about that. I think we made a slide up, I think, about that one. Outrunner, if a bowler accidentally puts a wicket down with the ball held in his or her hand during the bowling action and the non-striker is out of his or her ground, the non-striker would be dismissed if there is an appeal. Obstruction of the field. This law has been rewritten. As the striker cannot be out caught off a no ball, it should not be the striker is necessarily out in this scenario. As in 34.3, whether the reaction to defend the wicket was instinctive, whether the batsman knew it was a no ball or not, is not deemed to be relevant for this law. Now that's a bit confusing, but don't get too carried away. That hasn't happened to me in 20 years of umpiring, so don't get too carried away. But when you study the law, you'll get to read it. Now there's a lot of other changes. There's 22 in total. Not as significant. They're just word changes. So if you want to go and look them up, by all means do. That's the link to it, if you can fit it all in. But it's just a bit of a rundown on some of the stuff. But most of them are word changes. There's nothing to... The summary is the most important ones from our point of view. Okay? Thanks. Okay. Just to finish off from me, I'm a real stickler for making sure that we go to a game and we turn up when we're dressed in our umpiring gear. We look as professional as possible. Make sure that your shoes are clean, please. White, clean. A lot of umpires, like players, get home after a day, they either stay in the bag, get thrown in the wardrobe or under the bed, go looking for them the following week, haven't even looked at them. Prepare at least on a Friday night before. Get your gear ready. Make sure your runners are clean. Now, I've been asked this question. Do I wear black socks or do I wear white socks? As long as you wear a pair of black or white, I don't care. Don't wear one of each. As somebody did. As I said before, give yourself plenty of time. When you get your appointment, look up where it is. Try and have a look. You might even Google it. How long is it going to take me to get from where I am to that game? If it says 40 minutes in there, give yourself a minimum of an hour. But don't leave it to last, 40 minutes, I'll get there at 40, then there's a traffic jam or something's going on. Give yourself plenty of time. The last thing I really want to say, apart from enjoying your game and really taking it all in, when you're driving home or at least the next morning having breakfast, do a little bit of reflection. How did I go today? How did I go yesterday? Not whether you got the decision right or wrong, it's the process. If you follow a process on your decision making and think about it, I'll back you in to make the right decision more times than not. But you've got to, right from the start, I said right in the very first slide, about our blueprint for the season. It's about being prepared. You're preparing after that first Saturday, ready for the next Saturday. By reflecting on, did I get there in time? Did I work with my partner today? Did we get our signals right? There's nothing worse than going up and saying, oh, have you got 2 to go, 1 to go? You know, something's happened. So it's really important. There's a lot of other factors that come into play. So really important that you take that on board. Also, what will be happening, there's 5 or 6 people that I'll some I've spoken already and others I'm going to speak to, about being a mentor this year, or this season. And their role, I'm making up a mentor sheet, just be a one-pager, just to help umpires, especially if you're only in your first or second year and you still want to learn and develop and grow, then this mentor sheet will be really important. So when I'm talking to Neil Murray and we're working through the appointments, and I'm really keen to put experienced umpires with inexperienced umpires, or not as much experience, or where we think they can grow and develop. It's really important. So we're going to have 5 or 6 mentors going to be helping out, which is really important as well. I take it you're all here to umpire because you enjoy the game. You love the game. You want to be part of the game. So go out there as if you mean that. It's exactly what you want to do. So when you're driving home, you go home with a little smile on your face. Gee, I had a good day today. Really enjoyed it. I was focused, concentrated, happy with my decisions, worked with my partner. Everything that's on that sheet has been handed out. Is anyone didn't get a copy of that sheet? Excellent. Oh, down here. Oh, they count. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for listening to me. I wish you all the very best for the season. And as I said to a few guys earlier tonight, I'm a phone call away or an email away if I can assist you in any way, shape or form. Enjoy your cricket.